Hello everybody, I am Devapriya EV, BA English student from Pioneer College. Kelu, M. Sasidharan and E.P. Rajagopalan. The play. A meeting of the Executive Committee of Vidwan P. Kelunaya Memorial Trust is on. The year is 1997. 6 or 7 members are present. A few very old, some middle-aged and 2 youngsters. Kelunaya's biographer K. Balakrishnan Nambyar is also among them. The trust chairman, Kelunaya's student K. Madhavan is coordinating the meeting, in the middle of which the curtain rises. K. Madhavan. On this occasion, when we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of our independence, we must consider what the trust can do. A member. Vidwan P. Kelunaya Trust need not consider an ordinary celebration. That is my opinion. We must think differently. How we can celebrate the event in a manner that links Kelunaya's memorial celebrations with the 50th anniversary. Another member. Why don't we make a new production of Kelunaya's play Paduka Pattabhishekam? The song Smaripin People of Bharat is in that play, isn't it? K. Madhavan. But more than Kelu Master's plays, it is Kelu Master himself that the new generation needs to know about. We keep saying Vidwan P, but how many know about the depth and spread of his life? One member points towards Balakrishnan Nambyar. There is the biography written by Balakrishnan Master. K. Madhavan. Biography is not life, is it? Moreover, nowadays, reading has dipped quite a lot, hasn't it? Why don't we try to present Kelu Master's life through his favorite medium? A member. What do you have in mind, Madhaveta? K. Madhavan. A play about Kelu Master. We must get it written and enact it. A member. Don't we need a play for that? K. Madhavan. Yes, we must present a play. Another member. To write a play now about someone who lived and died some time long ago, that's not easy. K. Madhavan raises his voice a little. Kelu Master is not someone who lived and died at some point of time long ago. We should not say that, at least not when we are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Indian independence. One of the brave soldiers from Kerala who took part in the freedom struggle. The man who laid the foundation for a people's theatre movement in Kerala. Kelunaya is not someone who just lived and died. A youngster. A play is not a memorial speech after all. If we should present a play, someone should write it. Is that not so? A member. Can't Balakrishnan Master himself write it? Do we have to look for another person? Another member. Balakrishnan Master is the right person for it. Balakrishnan Nambyar. I was able to write about Kelunaya's life, but to write a play about him? A member. Isn't it the person who studied the life the most suitable one to write it? Balakrishnan. I can envisage Kelu Master, the writer, and the historical figure, but as a character. K. Madhavan. Balakrishnan, just try it. My instincts tell me you can do it. A member. Then record it in the minutes. A youngster. We should be able to start the rehearsal in a month and a half or 2. K. Madhavan. I suppose we can conclude the meeting. There is a freedom fighters meeting in the new fort at 4 o'clock. Rises. Everyone pats Balakrishnan Nambyar on the back encouragingly. The light dims. When the lights return, Balakrishnan Nambyar can be seen engrossed at his desk. He is going through the struggle of writing. He puts his pen down, gets up and walks about, then returns and takes up his pen again, flips through certain books. Balakrishnan. No, I can't. I don't think I can complete this. Kelunaya is an ordinary man, but the character grows more and more complex as I write. Turns pages. The days when he was studying for the Vidwan course in Pattambi Sanskrit College. Poems that turned into flaming torches during the freedom struggle. The theatre groups in Vellikothu, Maniyattu and Parashinikadavu. Meenakshi, Dharman Nair. No, I can't. I don't think I can complete this. Who is this Kelunaya? The Hanuman of Lanka Dahanam? Pakanar of Pakanar Charidam. Is he Rama or Dasharatha in Paduka Pattabhishekam? Whose spirit? Which character does he identify with? No, I can't. I don't think I can complete this. Goes through the books, tries to write. Finding it impossible, he sits looking down. The back curtain parts gently. Kelunaya enters with a red silk cloth draped over his usual clothes. Kelunaya. Smaripin. Balakrishnan Nambyar is startled. He rises, greatly disturbed. Balakrishnan. Oh God, that I did not recognize. Kelu Nair, the fleeting life of a flash of lightning. You wrote in the biography, but the people who understood me during the 29 years of my life are very few in number. Balakrishnan, I am sorry. I fail when I turn from history to the individual. The turmoil I experience. Kelu, turmoil. In our days, that was not a word we uttered in relation to our writing, but I can understand. The time and the world were different. However, I too have gone through the same conflicts. Balakrishnan, I recognized it in Langadhanam and Pakana Charitam. Kelu, for one who did not extinguish the Langa within him, what play, what poem. Balakrishnan addressing himself, the audience and Kelu Nair. A life I talked, heard and read about, came to know well, and all of us received that legacy. Yet, each recognition leads me to an enigma. I feel frightened when I think of limiting that life to a mere character on the stage. Kelu, I was on stage from beginning to end. The green room beyond the stage, the soiled clothes discarded in the green room. Why go through it all again? Balakrishnan, yes, one who helped construct history, opted out of it. The note of death comes to nest on the very tongue that sang of freedom. I don't understand. Kelu, in life, I never saw myself as an individual. The moment I had to, I dropped the curtain. Today, when I look back, all that I can take in as my own is the contradiction between the person and the act. It would be best if you make that contradiction the mold for your play, Balakrishnan. The rest is there in history after all. Balakrishnan, I too long to write more or less along those lines. Mine will not be a historical play, but neither will it keep history out. Kelu, the distance between Vidwan P. Kelu Nair and Kelu. Balakrishnan, you attempt to measure it 70 years this side. I collapsed the moment I began to measure. Balakrishnan, now that you look back, do you regret it? Kelu, not in the least. I had the satisfaction of fulfilling my life's purpose through my actions. The roles I played, the songs I sang, none of them were for my pleasure alone. A coronation is always for the country, not for the king. Balakrishnan, then why on that cursed night in Madam? What happened? That you forgot yourself, forgot your home, your land, embraced death. Kelu Nair disappears through the back curtain, not answering, yet visibly upset by the question. Balakrishnan sits down. The freedom struggle, his words and actions that had the power of fire. The light dims. Lights come on in Balakrishnan Nambiar's study. He looks more agitated than before. Balakrishnan to himself. Kelu Nair is no one to me. Neither was he some extraordinary being. Yet that life is turning into a crisis I cannot overcome. Will I have to give up this writing halfway? A failed playwright to write about a successful one. Will this be the honor awaiting me? It is as though some guru's curse is upon me. Can't. Light dims. A muted rendering of lines from P. Kunniraman Nair's Kaliyachan can be heard in the background. Never can I join my troupe again. Never act again in tune with them. Bitter now, the charming, smiling roles I did. My memories ravaged by my guru's fierce curse. P. Kunniraman Nair appears. He is 72 years of age, which he was in 1978, the year of his death. He begins to speak from backstage. Poet. What is this, Balakrishna? Haven't you finished writing the play yet? Balakrishnan looks stunned at seeing the poet, then greets him with palms joined together. Mahakavi, great poet. Poet. You need not be bewildered, Balakrishna. Though you have not decided, I felt I should end this play about Keluvetan. Balakrishnan. Not desire? I did desire it, but I did not know how to bring you into it. Poet. I have won several titles, Bhaktakavi, Mahakavi and so on, but it was here in this soil that my footsteps first left their imprint, in the soil that Keluvetan had plowed and made fertile. Balakrishnan. I have read about it in your autobiography, Kaviyude Kalpadugal. Poet. Balakrishna. You are the one who studied Keluvetan's life in depth and wrote about him. When you have all that knowledge, what is it that comes in the way and prevents you from completing the play? Balakrishnan. Perhaps it is that knowledge that comes in the way. There is a Kelu Nair beyond the Kelu Nair I knew. There is a life beyond the life I recorded in the biography. That life cannot be confined to my grasp. Poet. Anyway, a play is not meant to shrink a life into a grasp. In the case of Kelu, it is not possible either. Balakshna, let's speak from the misty shroud that lies beyond the timeline of the living, a continuation of our old twilight sessions. Perhaps it is wrong for a character to tell the playwright to stand aside, yet for a little while. Balakshna Nambyar moves towards the wings and disappears. Kelunaya appears, draped in silk. The backdrop now has the picture of a flowing river. Keluveta, Kelunaya is bewildered. You haven't recognized me, that's clear, and the added surprise of hearing the call Eta from the one older than you. Kelunaya stands as before. Then here is a sentence as a sign. He recites 4 lines from one of his early writings. Kelu, a mixture of astonishment, joy, and pride on his face. Eda Kunyirama, is it you? Embraces him, stands apart and looks at him from head to toe. When I see you, it's not your poetry or Sanskrit that comes to my mind, but the ball game at Velikoth ground, a goalkeeper who lies on his back near his post, staring at the sky. Poet, it was not just in the ball game. I was fated to be that kind of goalkeeper in the game of life too. There is just one thing I could not sing in material form, my Khemadruma fated life. Kelu, no one calculated the positioning of the stars and told me my fate, but I share the Khemadruma fate. Poet, an artist should not be judged by his personal life. Kelu, true. In this very play, the playwright makes me say thus, the song I sang, the part I played, none of these were for my happiness alone, and I don't consider my life a failure, but... Poet, makes a sign meaning enough. There will be no end to buts. In this play, we are entrusted with the duty to reveal something else. Kelu, what do you mean by something else? Poet, the significance of words. It's all that we writers have. We have no control over other significations either. Kelu, it's not just the significance of words, Kunirama. The significance of actions too trouble me. Art is not words alone. It conjoins words and actions, vak and karma. Poet, Keluveta, what you now said is the new answer to the old question, who is an artist? As one who followed and transcended the tinkling bangles of that eternal enchantress called Vak, I cannot but agree with you. Both begin to walk in a circle. They look at the backdrop, sound of gushing water. The sound grows more audible. Kelu, life is a deluge then and now, but each one needs to have his own mirror to see his face. They move suddenly. The sound of water ceases. Both are now in the front of the stage. Each holds a hand mirror. Poet, looking into the mirror. Bhaktagavi, spiritual poet, shakes his head in disagreement. No. Kelu, looking into the mirror. The writer of Sangeeta Natakas, shakes his head vehemently in negation. The play with the mirrors continues for a while. Poet, the romanticist, Kelu, one who created a stage for divine characters. That was not all. They hold the mirrors face to face. The poet and Kelu speak directly to the audience. Kelu, the Mahabali of words. Poet, the fleeting life of a flash of lightning. Kelu, extravagance of imagination. Poet, selfless service to the world. They turn the mirrors towards themselves again. Poet, a deserted railway station. Kelu, Damo's cry as I climb the steps at midnight. Poet, the sugar-like sandy mattress of the Nila. Kelu, the tricolour that became a shroud. Poet, a Vidwan exam difficult to write and pass. Kelu, a play for the people if it is a male child. Poet, the intoxication of dawn and dusk. Kelu, my dear ones who do not recognize me. They continue to speak, looking at the mirror, but no words emerge. They appear as though defeated in the game. They placed the mirrors aside and look at each other. Poet, now is it clear? Even what we see in the mirror is not our real selves. Kelu, then who are we? For what use are these mirrors? Poet, we are artists. We do not need mirrors. Kelu, art is not just a mirror held to life. The light dims and goes out. When the stage lights up, again it is Kelunaya's room. Kelunaya is reading the Mathrubhumi newspaper. The news is heard in the background. May 26, Payanur got ready to welcome Pandit Nehru, the 4th Regional Conference of the Indian National Congress. The Regional Conference meeting was reconvened at 1:30 p.m. After Kelu Nayar's inspiring and exhorting song, the secretary read out the goodwill messages sent by several leaders gathered at the Crombe Bay Conference. Sriman K. Madhavan Nair, Sarvottama Rao, Satyamurthy, etc. all wishing good luck. Turns the page, another piece of news captures his attention. The resolution presented by Kurur Neelakandan Nambudiripadu, removal of untouchability. This conference requests the people of Kerala to eradicate the evil practice of untouchability. Sriman Keshavan Pulayannar seconded the resolution. Puts away the newspaper, opens a notebook and pen, tries to write. Meenakshi comes and sits beside him. Kelu, a new play. I have written more than half of it, but I am unable to complete it. Meenakshi, I read what you have written. Kelu, when? Did you like it, Meenakshi? Meenakshi, if you cared about my opinion, would you write like this? Kelu, so that means you didn't like it. This one is altogether different from every other play I have written. I believe there is nothing like it in our Malayalam theatre. There is no story in it. What it has is life. Meenakshi, why leave the Puranics and write a play about the lives of ordinary people? Kelu, I do not think that the Puranas can express the problems of contemporary people. The crowned head and the head that wears the tuft belong to different people. Meenakshi, many of the dialogues in this Janaki Parinayam, I feel as though I have heard them in the veranda of this Meetal house. Kelu, so you have got the essence of the play, Meenakshi. But how to end it? That's my anxiety. Meenakshi, can I ask something? Kelu Nayar looks at her. Do you have to finish this play? Kelu, what's the problem? Meenakshi, there will be only trouble. Not just here. Relatives in Neeleshwaram and Chanderi will turn against you. Kelu, that is their morality. What's the point in smashing up the mirror just because the face looks bad? Meenakshi, who will be smashed by whom? I do not know. Anyway, father will not remain passive. He will have the intelligence to understand that the stubborn patriarch in the play is himself. Do you think father hasn't grasped the secret of the Kadar game you played at Lakshmi Kutti's wedding? The drama she played here will enter the days wearing Kadar. Nothing else. There should be Gandhi's picture on the dais. All those words Lakshmi Kutti said. You injected them into her, didn't you? Now you turn it all into a play. You are trying to destroy what peace we have in this house. You need not think about me, but think about little Damu. Kelu, I will write the play, complete it. Don't worry. We won't enact it in Vellikothiland. We will be presenting it at Maniyattu. There they have some youngsters who are aware of things. Sound of a child crying from the inside. Meenakshi, Damu is awake, I think. Do what you want, I am leaving. Kelu Nayar is upset. He looks at the statue of Pakanar. Kelu Nayar to the statue. No, don't look at me like that. Oh, you think you have defeated me. No, I won't let myself be defeated like that. Are you too on the side of the Puranic characters? No, Pakanare, don't degrade yourself to the level of that group. I cannot bear that. No, don't look at me like that. I will drench you in this black coal. Takes coal out of the box and roughly smears it all over the eyes of the Pakana statue. Looks at it intently. Feels penitent. Distressed. Forgive me, Pakanare, forgive me. The rhythm has gone wrong somewhere. The studied footwork was wrong. Dark clouds filled the lighted space within me. Forgive me, Pakanare, forgive me. Translated by Catherine Thangamma. About the authors. N. Sasidharan was born in Kuttiyattur in Kannur district. He taught for many years at the Government High School, Koduvalli, from where he retired in 2007. He has been writing plays and literary criticism from the 1980s. His major plays are Charitragada 1982, Vanibam 1996, Adukkala 2002, Himsadhanam 2004, Jeevacharitam 2008 and Natile Paattu 2011. He is the author of Kada Kalam Pole 1992, one of the earliest critical studies to examine the nature of postmodernist fiction in Malayalam. E.P. Rajagopalan was born in Maniyattu in Kasaragod district. A postgraduate in English literature, he has been teaching English in the Government Higher Secondary School at Vellur for the past several years. He is an important practitioner of postmodernist literary criticism in Malayalam and has published works such as Swapnavum Charitravum 1996, Logathinte Vaakku 1999, Kavithayude Gramangal 2004 and Kadayum Atmakadayum 2011. He has collaborated with N. Sasidharan in writing Udambadi Kolam 1996 and Kelu 1998. Plays that won the Kerala Sangeeta Nadaka Akademi Awards 1997 and 1998 respectively, when they were first presented. About the play. Kelu is one of the few plays in Malayalam that dramatizes the life of a historical figure. The play is about Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar, 1901 to 1929, a nationalist leader who also became popular as a dramatist in Malabar under the British rule in the early 20th century. He was a colourful personality who garnered a range of experiences in a brief life that lasted for only 29 years. A Sanskrit scholar who learned the language from the legendary teacher Punnasheri Nambi, he served in the army during the First World War. He left the army to join the freedom movement and was in the forefront of the nationalist struggle in Malabar. As a part of the nationalist work, he founded a school for Sanskrit studies in his locality. He was also one of the chief organizers of the Congress Party in Malabar. He was interested in cultural work and was a dramatist, actor, director, singer and orator all in one. He used drama as a tool for nationalist awakening and wrote plays such as Paduka Pattabhishekam, Lanka Dahanam, Dhruva Charitam, Pakana Charitam and Vivekodayam Athava Janagi Parinayam, all of which blended mythic themes with contemporary situations. Sasidharan and Rajagopalan's play, excerpts from which are carried here, tries to capture not only the fire and fury of the historical times in which Kelu Nayar lived, but the inner turmoil of the sensitive individual whom circumstances pushed to suicide at a young age. Glossary and explanations. Coordinate. To cause two or more things to be the same or to go together without any conflict. Minutes. The official record of the proceedings of a meeting. Engrossed. Involved with complete concentration. Startled. Surprised or frightened. Fleeting. Lasting for a very short time. Turmoil. Confusion, agitation. Enigma. Mystery. Mold. The frame within which an object is constructed. Regret. Feel sad and repentant. Kemadruma. A certain configuration of stars which according to an ancient astrological text is inauspicious and indicated a troubled life. Entranced. Filled with delight or wonderment, following something with dedicated attention. Patriarch. A man who controls a family. Pakanar. The second of the 12 children born to sage Vararuji and his low-caste Parai wife, a character in Paraipetta Pandirikulam, described in Kottarathil Shankuni's Aidhishyamala, a collection of Kerala folktales. Comprehension questions. Answer in a sentence or two. 1. What occasions the convening of the Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar Memorial Trust meeting and who presides over it? 2. What idea does K. Madhavan put forward at the Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar Memorial Trust meeting? 3. What is Balakrishnan Nambiar's first reaction to the suggestion that he compose a play on Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar? 4. What are P. Kunyiraman Nayar's reasons for entering the play on Kelu? 5. What are Kelu's memories about P. Kunyiraman Nayar? 6. What for Kelu is the significance of art? 7. Who was the special invitee at the 4th Regional Conference of the INC at Payyanur? 8. What was the resolution passed at the Payyanur INC conference about? 9. What is Meenakshi's first observation about Kelu's play? 10. What is the name of Mahakavi P. Kunyiraman Nayar's autobiography? 11. What does Kelu do to the statue of Pakana? 12. To whom does Kelu apologize at the end of the play? Paragraph questions. Answer in not more than 80 to 100 words. 1. What are K. Madhavan's reasons for suggesting that a play on Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar be written and enacted? 2. What suggestion does Kelu offer Balakrishnan Nambiar for composing the play? 3. What reasons does Balakrishnan Nambiar give P. Kunyiraman Nayar regarding his inability to write a play on Vidwan P. Kelu Nayar? 4. What are Meenakshi's fears about the repercussions of Kelu's play? 5. What is Kelu's attitude towards Pakanar? 6. Comment on the theme of writing in the play. Essay questions. Answer in not more than 200 to 250 words. 1. Critically comment on the different attitudes towards art that the conversation between Kelu and the poet reveals. 2. The mirror scene in the play brings together reality, representations, visions and constructed images. Explain. 3. Attempt a critical analysis of the play Kelu. Thank you.